Hi, this is Dan at Tensoft, and today's training video we'll be going over how to add fields to a Word template in Dynamics 365 for financials. In today's example, we'll take a Word template for an invoice, we'll add some additional fields to that invoice, and then apply that invoice format so it's used for our invoices. So where we're going to start is under our custom reports. And I'll shrink that down to the administration tasks for custom, and we can see we have an option here for custom report layouts. So when we get to that page, we'll see a list of all the custom report layouts, Word layouts that we have in the system. Since we're working with our invoice, we will go ahead and look for ID 1306, which is our list of invoices that we have in the system. I'm going to be working with the timeless invoice today. It's one that I like, so we'll go ahead and make a copy of this and make changes to that. So first thing we want to do is make a copy of the default version. So to do that, we just highlight the report and select copy. That will generate a copy of that invoice within the list that we have. Next, what I want to do is I want to export the default report format so I can make changes to it and then import that to my copy report ID. So with the original highlighted, we're going to go ahead and export that layout. And that's going to open the layout in Word for us to work with. So when we get the Word document, what we can see are the elements to the invoice format. And really what it is a series of tables within a Word document. The one thing you want to make sure you have available to you, or at least active within your Word application, is the Developer tab, which you can turn on through the Word options. So when we go into Developer, we see we have an option here for XML Mapping. That's what's going to expose the elements from Dynamics 365 to us. So when we open that up, we'll get the XML parts over on the right-hand side. We want to bring that down and use the last one that we see here for Dynamics and our sales invoice. This is going to show us all the available fields that we have that we can bring in to an invoice. Now in this example, I want to bring in the remaining amount on the invoice. So we're going to go ahead and look for that here. We have the remaining amount and some text that can go along with it. And for this example, I am going to go ahead and insert that below my total. So I want that amount right here in this field. So once I add my row, I put my cursor into the field where I want to add my amount. I go ahead and do that. I come over to the remaining amount tag. I right click and I want to insert that control as plain text. And that will insert that into that space on the Word document. I'm going to format that a little bit so it's in line with the amounts above it. And I'm going to give it a label. And I can potentially use a label here, or I can even just type in what I'd like to see in this field on the Word document. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to add some automatic text down here, kind of giving the customer a little bit of indication about how much is remaining, and if I have some partial payments, they'll be able to see what that looks like, and when it's fully paid, the text will change to "this invoice is fully paid." So to do that, I'm just going to put that right below the totals, and we're going to use the remaining amount text to show that. We insert that the same way as plain text. Now it comes out a little small, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to make that just a little bit bigger. So we'll have our remaining amount text here. So once I've made the changes, I want to go ahead and save this. So I'm going to save this to my desktop. Go. We save that in a place where we can get to it, and we close that up. Now, what I'll do is when I come to the copy, I'm going to import that layout. So it'll ask me to go find that. There's my custom invoice. And once that loads, we'll be able to see what this looks like. So I'll just give that a second. And from this window, after it gets loaded, we'll be able to actually run it from here. Take a look at that before we go ahead and apply this to our invoices. So now that that's loaded, you can see I have the copy highlighted. I'm going to go ahead and run that report. When you click run, you'll be given some options to be able to choose an invoice that you want to see. I already have one in here, but if you clicked on the ellipse, you'd be able to choose from other documents that you might have in your system. I'm going to go ahead and send that out to PDF and see what my changes look like. And that will just take a second to run out to PDF. It's letting me know that it's working on it. And once we have that, we'll be able to open. And we can see my changes now on the invoice. There's that hard-coded text I put in there, my total remaining, and then just some text that there's a partially applied payment and some text around the remaining amount. As I continue to make payments on this, the totals and the text will change. Okay, I like how this looks, so I'm going to go ahead and apply this so this becomes my invoice format when I send invoices to my customers. To do that, we want to go ahead and look up our report selection. And again, we'll just use our search. We'll look at the administration tasks, and we have our report layout selection here. Once we come into this window, we do want to search for the report ID that we'll be working with. In our case, it was 1306. We can see there's my sales invoice, and I actually already have it set to be the copy of the timeless invoice. If I wanted to change this to something else, I can click on that ellipse and see all of my available invoices. We'll go ahead and keep that to the format that I've just modified. By doing this, this ensures that when I do print invoices for my customers, the modified format that I've just fixed up is what customers will see. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions regarding Dynamics 365, please contact Tensoft. We'd be happy to help. Thank you.